Hello fellow Portal Knights, Tom here again, and about a month and a half ago I made a video showing that it was possible to create an airlock system for an underwater base. Now a couple things about that video. The first being is that when I made it I really only showed the components that I used in it, and I didn't really go over exactly how to make it. And the second thing being is that that particular system was a very crude version of what it is now. And the one major flaw that I had with it is I wasn't able to have more than one button to connect to a door, because I needed two buttons to connect to a door so I could have both of them be able to open and close a single door. And I think a week and a half later or so after I posted that video, I did manage to figure that part out. So I've since created a much better version, a much more updated airlock system. So that's what this video is for, because I've been meaning to make a tutorial on it and just haven't gotten around to it. So let's get started here. First things first, let me show you what that system looks like here. This is the skeleton version of it. So as you can see, I have two gates here, and I have 4 buttons. And you press one button, door will open, and the other one will close. And it doesn't matter which button you press. If one door is closed, you can press either of the buttons and open it back up. That's what I like about that. And the other version, I was using the delay gates and then the XOR gates. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Maybe XOR. So yeah, I was using the XOR gates and then the delay gates. In this one, I'm actually using the OR gates and a timer gate, and they almost work similar, but not quite. So, but again, yeah, this is the skeleton version, and as you can see, I've since given my area a huge update in the last month and a half. I've kind of built it up quite a bit, and actually what you see here is only about half of it. There's a lot more that's in the direction of those 2 arms over there. So I do want to create a tour video of this area at some point in the future. So I think I will be doing that. So let's get right to this here. The first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and place down the gates. So as you saw over there, there's two sets of gates here. You have 2 OR gates that connect to the timer gate, and the timer gate connects to the door. And each set just connects to one door. But as you can see here, you have 2 buttons that connect to the OR gate. So that's how either of these buttons can activate the doors here. So again, we have 2 OR gates and 1 timer, and on this side we're going to again put 2 OR gates and a timer. Let's fix that up here. Alright. So next what we're going to do is just go ahead and place the buttons down, and I'm placing them inside the wall, and I'll explain that a little bit later, that there's a very good reason for that. So we're going to put a green button here, as well as that one, and then place a red button here. Oops. Actually, you know what? Place the red button there. Actually, just place the green button here. And I use the colors red and green to symbolize that red is the color of danger and green is the color of safety. So when you press the red button, the water will be filling up. It's putting you out in danger. Since the water's filling up the room, just to be ready. And then the door opens to this environment. The green button closes the door and drains the water out, making the environment safe to breathe in. That's kind of how it is. And you can use any buttons you want. I'm just doing this just for the purpose of this video. But it is actually how I have my my Airlock gate set up on the buildings that I have it in over there. So next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to have these buttons connect to delay gates. And if you've messed with the buttons enough, you know that when you press the buttons in, they don't pop out. So you have to destroy them and place a new one down, or you have to connect it to a delay or a timer gate to get them to pop back out again. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. And we are going to set these to 5 seconds. And there is a very good reason for that. And again, I'll get to that in just a little bit here. But yeah, what we're going to want to do is connect the delay to the button, and then we're going to go ahead and connect the button back into the delay. And this is just going to make it so that the buttons only pop out after that a certain amount of time, or in this case 5 seconds, instead of holding something in for forever, pretty much. Okay. It's connected. You can just see the line is going to make it indicate that they're connected to each other. Alright, so all those are connected. Just go ahead and make sure that these are all set to 5 seconds. Good, excellent. Okay, so now what we're going to do is have them connect to doors. So we're going to go ahead and bring out a blue door. Just do that. The way I'm going to set these doors up, and you don't have to do this, is I'm going to set it up so that this door opens up going inside, like that. And then for the outside door, I'm going to flip it around and just have it open up so that it goes to the outside, just like that. Next step is we're going to connect the buttons to the OR gates. Now it doesn't really matter what position in the OR gate the buttons are connected to. What will matter, however, is how you connect the OR gates to the timer gates. And yet there is a very good reason for that as well. Alright. Grab this connection here. And just to make things a little faster, I'll just go ahead and connect to both of these at the same time there. Alright, so all the buttons are connected to the OR gates. Now we connect the OR gates to the timer gate. So here's the tricky part. So you want to pay close attention to this one. If you read the description on the timer gate, it says for input 1, it starts to count down without sound, and it activates whatever it's connected to. Input 2 resets the countdown, meaning it resets the way the object was originally, so it deactivates it. So in this case, if you connect it to a light, when a countdown finishes, it's going to activate that light or turn it on, and then when it resets it, it's going to turn it off. So for doors, since all doors are closed by default when you go into a map, if they're not connected to, or if they're not forced to stay open, they're all going to remain shut. So when you connect into a timer gate, when that timer gate activates, it's going to activate the door, meaning it's going to open the door. resetting the door means it goes back to being closed. So we want this button here to be able to open this door. So we're going to take the OR gate, the red OR gate, and we're going to place it in the first connection slot. So that's going to activate the door. That's what's going to activate the door there. And then we're going to take the green OR gate here and connect it to the bottom one, which is what deactivates or closes the door. And after that's done, you're going to do the exact opposite for this side, where you're going to take the red OR gate and place it on the bottom this time, and then you're going to take the green one and place it in the top slot. So again, this set right here of gates is going to cause this door to open and keep this one closed. And this set of gates over here is going to open this door and close this one. I'll show you in just a second. So we're going to go ahead and get this connection and attach it to this door. And you can see that one just closes automatically because that's how it's set up. This one, grab the connection and connect it to this one. And it should open up here. Let's fix it here. Okay, yep, there we go. So it took about 5 seconds. Yep, so again, that one opens the door. So let's go ahead and give this a test run. And you've already seen that one opens the door. So if you press this green button, this door should close, and about 5 seconds later, this door should open. And just to do the test quick, we're just going to set this back to 1 second. We'll put it back to 5 seconds in just a little bit here. So press this button, closes, and this one opens. And we'll press this button, it'll close that door and open this one. There we go. So that, in a nutshell, that is how the Airlock system works. That's the very basicness of it. And I say basic even though there's a bit of complexity to it. But once you understand how to make it, it is pretty easy to do. So the second half now is where we place and connect the drains and the water sources. So let's go ahead and just grab those here. So what we're gonna do is have these buttons able to activate the drains and the water sources. And just to make things go a little quicker, I did already place water sources on the ceiling here. So now what we're going to do is, because we want both sets of buttons to be able to activate these objects, so we want both green buttons. So for this example, I'm going to have the green buttons drain the water from the room, and I'm going to have the red buttons activate the water sources to fill it back up to be able to come back out here. And we want both sets of buttons to be able to activate their respective objects. So we're going to go ahead and place 2 more OR gates on here. And for the red one, we're going to grab the connection from this one and place it right there. Grab this one and place it right there. And again, it doesn't really matter what slot you fit it in. So now let me go over something real quick. As a general rule of thumb, it should be noted that when you place a drain somewhere, water in this game drains at a rate of about 1 block per second. Maybe slightly slower than that. And water sources, they tend to fill up a little bit faster, at slightly more than a block a second, or about 1 block per second. So for a room this size, if you place drains on every square inch of this place, you'll notice that the height of this room is about 4 blocks in height. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to drain at around after it's going to have completely drained after around 5 seconds have passed. So it'll take almost, or maybe slightly more than 5 seconds for the room to completely drain. Likewise, it's going to take about 5 seconds for the room to completely fill up with water. So that is why I have the delays and the timer set to 5 seconds, because when you press a button, it's going to hold a door, it's going to hold both doors closed for 5 seconds and then open one of them up. And then with the delays, I have the delays set to 5 seconds because the drains and the water sources are only active as long as the button is pressed in. So the more the button is pressed in, the longer it's going to stay activated. So I have these delays set to 5 seconds to make the button stay pressed in for 5 seconds, which in turn keeps the water sources or the drains going for 5 seconds. So again, that's why I have the delays and timers set for that long. So let me get back to this here. We have this OR gate that I connected both the red buttons to. Now here comes the tedious part, where you have to grab the connection from that OR gate and then connect it to each and every one of these water sources. And again, this is a little tedious, but depending on how fast you can go, it might not take that long at all. This light is in the way. Just get rid of that real quick. Oops. And after you connect all the water sources, you want to just kind of quickly go around just to make sure that they all are connected and that you didn't miss any of them. And even if you did, it's no big deal. You just connect them again. Connect it to it. And we'll just go ahead and place that light back on the wall here so we can see what we're doing. There we go. Alright. And then next we're going to place the drains. Now, getting back to earlier, the reason why I had the buttons embedded into the walls here is because when the buttons are on a flat surface, they actually take up 2 blocks of space, or 4 blocks of space. So that means if this button was parallel with this wall here, or flush with the wall, it would actually take up this area right here of 4 blocks. And when you do that, you cannot place the drains on the ground, because the drains themselves, even though they look flat, they actually take up 1 block of space. So they can't be placed anywhere where there's already something in the way. It's like, even though there's open ground right here, because this is the area of the door, you can't place this drain here because this door is already occupying this area. So the same thing goes for this button. If this button was sticking out, it would occupy these 2 blocks right here, as well as the top ones here. You can kind of see that already. So that's why I have these drains embedded into the wall, just for that very reason. So we can go ahead and start placing the blocks here, or the drains, I'm sorry. There, so I have every part of the floor covered. And then what we're going to do is we need to get into this room here. So I'm going to go ahead and close this door real quick, just so I can get into this area. And grab the connection from this button. And we'll go ahead and get back out and see. And you can see again how smoothly this works. So we're going to place that connection, grab this connection here. Connect that to that one as well. So then we're just gonna go ahead. Make sure to grab that connection. We're just gonna go ahead and connect all the drains, just like we did with the water sources, one by one. And again, this may be a bit tedious, but depending on how fast you can press buttons, it might not take that long. we go. And again, just go over each drain just to make sure it is indeed connected to it. Anything missing. Alright, you see this one? Yep, see that one wasn't connected. Or was that one? And that sometimes happens. You think you go around, you know, you've connected all the drains, all the water sources, and the next thing is that you've missed a couple, because they are kind of easy to miss when they're packed together like this. So now we have all the drains connected, we have all the water sources connected. So let's go ahead and test this out. We're just going to fill this water back up real quick. Actually, something's not right there. Should work. But you can see how this one water drains out, and after 5 seconds, this door opens. Let's go ahead and get rid of that one in there. Big old drain. And then we'll go ahead and just press this button here. That door closes. And for some reason the water is not coming out. Because I mistakenly had them connect to the red button out there. So yeah, that's why you gotta be careful. So you want to make sure that these are connected to the right gate. This shouldn't really take that long either. I should just get rid of that again. You know, and just like computer programming, you know, oftentimes you'll make a mistake that you won't realize, and then when you try running it, you'll find that it doesn't work correctly. So that's why you just gotta be a little careful when you do this. When you're messing with a bunch of objects so close together that you want them, when you're trying to add some functionality to them. So go ahead and place the light right there. So now that should work. So yep, so all those things work there. Excellent. The button pops up. So again, we'll press this button here. Door closes. You can see the water draining out at a rate of about 1 bar per second. And after about 5 seconds, let the door open. And just place these drains here so you can get that water out of here faster. Okay. And then we want to go back outside. Water fills up. Safe to go out now. So yeah, so that's it. So that is the underwater airlock system. And again, yeah, there's quite a bit of complexity to it, but after you do it a couple times, it does become fairly easy to do. And I should point out that you don't have to have, you know, that inside door button in there. But if you're having a tunnel connect to it to get to the outside, yeah, it comes in handy. Other times, if you're just going to have a room in here, and you're not going to have it go anywhere, then yeah, this door is going to be open anyway, and yeah, you probably don't need a button to open it from the inside. So, but yeah, that is how that works. And again, depending on how long you want water to flow in and drain out, you may not want to have a huge room when you do this. And this is a 4x4 room, a 4x4x4 room. So yeah, it's about 5 seconds to either drain or fill it up with water, which is more than enough time. And one problem that I've often run into is that when I have other players come in, a lot of times some of them won't understand how this works. I mean, no one's really going to know how it works right off the bat, but they have little understanding of how the buttons and the gates work. Because when you go into someone's world, yeah, you know, someone who has like a button or a pressure plate or a switch, when you activate those switches or whatever, you kind of expect them to immediately activate something. So when you flip a switch, you expect that it's going to instantly open a door, and in almost all cases it really does. So when people come in here, they press a button and nothing's happening for 5 seconds. They start to wonder, is it like glitched out or whatever. So when they get into the chamber, and they press a button, nothing's happening for a little bit until they see the water drain. They're going to turn around and press this button because they think this one isn't working or it's the wrong button, so they turn around and do that. And the problem with that is it'll cancel out the first button input that you do. So like if you press this button to fill it up, and then you turn around and press this one right away, well, it's going to cancel this one out. And the water's still going to drain for a little bit until that one pops back out. And then it's going to override this door and just open this door instead. So you got to be careful with that one. But other than that, there really is no problem with this. This is how it works. That's basically it. I can go ahead and show you in this little room over here how the chamber I have in here is only 3 blocks high, and that's a nice rule of thumb to have for rooms like this, because more often than not, it's not going to matter how small it is. It's going to take about 5 seconds for your room to completely drain out. You can see it's taking a little bit, and by the time it finishes, it was about 5 seconds, which is what I have it set to. So it takes about 4 or 5 seconds for this room to fill up. Okay. So that is pretty much it, guys. I hope this tutorial helps you a lot. I hope some of you decide to make your own underwater base with this implemented, because I really do think it makes things a lot more fun when you have something like this. And you don't have to have use this for an underwater build. You can go on an asteroid map or a red planet map. You can have it set up just like this, and you can use it for the airlock for a space station or whatever, which should still be pretty cool. Yeah. If you do decide to do this, things aren't working out, or you just can't figure something out, I will be more than happy to come into your world and help you build it. Because I know this is a little bit complex, so you may not get it the first time, but yeah, just watch the video a second time and just kind of take things slow to get it right, and it'll work. So I do want to make a few more tutorials in the future, and actually I do want to make a tour video of this world, which is named Aqua Station 1. And again, you can see I built it up very nicely since my last video. And what you see here isn't all of it. There's quite a bit more that's on both sides of the arms here. So I do want to do that. And for the next tutorials that I want to do, I would like to show the different things that you can do with the lights in this game. Because normally, people just place the lights, turn them on and off, and it's cool and all that. But there are a few pretty cool tricks that you can do with them that most people don't know about. So, again, I hope this helps. Hope you enjoyed it, and until next time.